Welcome to Legion Builds, where I guide you on how to bring your favorite fictional characters into Dungeons & Dragons. This video and all my content is made possible by my Patreon supporters, and it's dedicated to every one of you who subscribes to my channel. I wouldn't do any of this without you guys, so thank you. Today we're building the White Falcon, or King of the Longing as the God Hand called him, Griffith. To many, Griffith is the ultimate general and perfect inspiration of what a leader should be. Boy, are they wrong! To achieve his goals, Griffith subverted all morality within himself to do what was necessary, including manipulating those who looked up to him and saw him as their friend. In the end, Griffith destroyed his own soul to become Femto, the demonic archangel and member of the God Hand. Before becoming Femto, Griffith was a master swordsman and, in the end, only Guts, the closest thing he ever had to a friend, though he believed he owned Guts, could match him in skills. But it was his cold cunning that made Griffith the most dangerous. With this cunning, Griffith began to conquer the kingdom of Midland through torture and murder. It wasn't until Guts left him to find his own dream that Griffith faltered, unable to process someone rejecting him, even though Guts was merely attempting to earn his respect. After a horrible turn of events that, if I discussed here, I will have to make my channel adult only, Griffith sold the lives of all those who followed him, transforming him into Femto. Before we begin, we are not creating Femto, but Griffith, as they are two completely different builds. If you guys want me to do Femto, leave a comment and I'll get to that. For today's build, we'll be using the Player's Handbook and Xanathar's Guide to Everything. We're using standard point array to make things simple if you want to use point buy or roll for stats. And we are multi-classing, but they use the same stats, so don't worry about the minimums. We'll start things off with Charisma at 15. There isn't anyone who doesn't fall in love with you and wants to follow you. Dex comes in at 14. Your speed and grace are second to none. I mean, you literally stood on the razor edge of a sword as if it was flat ground. Intelligence will fly in at 13. You can plan events almost perfectly and know what you have to do to make sure they happen as you have seen it. Con is going to be low with a 12. You were in perfect condition before. Well, we're not going into that. I don't want my channel shut down. Wisdom will be low with a 10, and we're going to dump strength. Both of these stats are way too low. You can read a person's mind and motives by watching them, and while you can't beat Guts in a fist fight, you're no pushover. We'll do what we can to fix this later. Griffith is a human. Variant Human grants a free feat and skill with your stat improvements. Place +1 into Charisma and Intelligence. For your free feat, Inspiring Leader lets you give temporary HP to up to 6 friendly creatures within 30 feet by spending 10 minutes speaking to them. Each creature gains temporary HP equal to your character level plus Charisma modifier. To gain this, they must be able to see or hear you, and they can only gain temporary HP from this feature again when they finish a short or long rest. For your free skill, grab Persuasion. For background, we need the skills Intimidation and Deception. You can gain up to 2 more proficiencies, which can either be tools or languages, so I'll let you choose which. He probably has a few of these. Alright, let's do this. Level 1 rogues start off with 4 skills. Take Acrobatics, Athletics, Insight, and Perception. You have proficiencies in light armor, simple melee weapons, hand crossbows, long swords, rapiers, short swords, and thieves' tools. To end your proficiencies out, you have both Dex and Intelligence saving throws. Expertise doubles your proficiency bonus to 2 skills you are proficient with. Take Persuasion and Acrobatics. Sneak Attack adds bonus damage to your attacks you make with a finesse or ranged weapon while you have advantage on the attack, or an enemy of the target is within 5 feet of it. The damage starts off at 1d6 but will grow over time. Level 1 fighters begin with a fighting style. This grants you new features depending on how you fight. Dueling adds +2 to damage you deal while holding only 1 weapon in a single hand and holding nothing else. Second Wind allows you to ignore damage by healing yourself 1d10 plus your fighter level once per short or long rest. To round all this out, you now have proficiencies in all weapons, shields, and medium armor. Level 2 fighters gain Action Surge. You can now grant yourself a free action once per short or long rest. Level 2 rogues receive Cunning Action. Dash, Disengage, and Hide are bonus actions for you. Level 3 rogues now have their subclass. You are a master swordsman, so we're going with Swashbuckler, found in Xanathars. Fancy footwork allows you to move away from a creature you hit. Now when you make a melee attack against a creature, they cannot make attacks of opportunity against you. Rakish Audacity adds your charisma bonus to your initiative rolls. You can also now make a sneak attack when no other creature is within 5 feet of you or the enemy, and you don't have disadvantage on the attack. Finally, your sneak attack is now 2d6 extra damage. Your character level 5 now, raise up your proficiencies with your new +3 proficiency bonus. Level 4 rogues earn our first ability score improvement. Add this into Dex for better attack, damage, and AC. Level 3 fighters gain their subclass. Battlemaster, found in the player's handbook, fits a true warlord and a superior fighter. Combat superiority grants you superiority dice. These are 4d8s that you can spend on maneuvers that you can perform, and you regain all used superiority dice at the end of a short or long rest. You start off with 3 maneuvers at this level. For your maneuvers, Commanding Presence lets you expend 1 superiority dice and add it to Intimidation, Performance, or a Persuasion check. Repose lets you use your reaction to spend a superiority dice when a creature misses you with an attack. If you hit with this attack, you add the superiority dice to the damage. Parry lets you use your reaction to expend a superiority dice when you take damage from a melee attack, reducing the damage by the superiority dice plus your dex modifier. Level 4 fighters earn another ability score improvement. Bump up dex again. Level 5 fighters receive extra attack. You can now attack twice with a single attack action. Time for another proficiency boost, as you are now character level 9, bringing you up to a +4. Level 5 rogues now have Uncanny Dodge. You can have the damage you take from an attack when you can see it with a reaction. Your sneak attack is now 3d6 extra damage. Level 6 rogues gain 2 more expertise. Place this into athletics and perception. Level 6 fighters earn another ability score improvement. Place this into charisma. Level 7 Battlemaster fighters now have Know Your Enemy. You can spend 1 minute outside of combat observing or interacting with an enemy to learn 2 pieces of information compared to your information. This information can be strength score, dex score, con score, AC, current HP, total class level, or total fighter level. The DM will compare these pieces of information and say if they are equal, superior, or inferior to you. You now have 5 superiority dice. For your new maneuvers, Disarming Strike lets you expend a superiority dice when you hit a creature with an attack. After adding the superiority dice to the damage, you force a strength save. If they fail, they drop 1 item they are holding. The DC for this is 8 plus your dex plus your proficiency bonus. Fainting Attack lets you use your bonus action to expend a superiority dice and choose 1 creature within 5 feet of you. You now have advantage on your next attack, and if you hit, you will add the superiority dice to the damage. Your character level 13 now, so bring your proficiency up to +5. Level 8 fighters earn another ability score improvement. Cap off dex. Level 9 fighters receive Indomitable. You can now reroll 1 failed saving throw, even death saves once per long rest. Level 10 Battlemaster fighters gain Improved Combat Superiority, turning your superiority dice into D10s. For your maneuvers, Evasive Footwork lets you expend a superiority dice when you move to add the dice to your AC until you stop moving. Trip Attack lets you expend a superiority dice when you hit a creature with an attack. After adding the superiority dice to the damage, you force a strength save on the creature if they are size large or smaller. If they fail, they fall prone. Level 11 fighters now have extra attack ×2, giving you 3 attacks per single attack action. You have now reached character level 17, maxing out your proficiency bonus to +6. Level 12 fighters earn another ability score improvement. Cap off charisma. Level 13 fighters gain a second use of Indomitable, letting you reroll 2 failed saving throws between long rests. Our final level is level 14 fighter, and you earn our final ability score improvement. Place this into strength to wipe out that negative. Now that we've hit level 20, let's recap. Your stats are Strength 10, Dex 20, Con 12, Intelligence 14, Wisdom 10, Charisma 20. Your total levels are Rogue 6, Fighter 14. Let's dive in. Your fighting skills are amazing. With a rapier, you're attacking with plus 11 and dealing 1d8 plus 5 plus 3d6 damage and can add a d10 to the attack. When you add the d10, you can add effects like disarming them, knocking them prone, giving yourself advantage on the attack, or attacking them when they miss you. You can increase your AC by 1d10 for a turn and adding plus 12 to several skills before adding modifiers. You can also heal yourself 1d10 plus 14, give yourself a free action, reduce damage from attacks, and re-rolled failed saving throws twice. Downside. Okay, we have a big one, but let's move through the small one first. No magical damage without a magic weapon. Whatever, not important. What is important in this build is it's basically pointless. Griffin could be a wizard or a paladin or whatever. It doesn't matter because Griffith is completely a roleplay character. It doesn't matter how good your sword skills are or how hard it is to hit you. This is all on you. Griffith is a master plan maker who just so happens to be an amazing swordsman. If you actually want to play a character like Griffith, or use this build to create an NPC or maybe a big bad evil guy, as I know most of you do, you must bring your A game for this, because Griffith always does. Before we close out, I would like to say that like my Pinhead builds, this is one character you have to be careful with. The story of Berserk is not for the faint of heart and goes into a lot of dark areas. Whether you use this build for a character or NPC, be careful with where you go with this, and remember, D&D can be a fun game when you share a story with other players, even if you're playing a total bastard and they aren't. So if you want to play Griffith, don't be Griffith, because before becoming a demonic archangel, Griffith was left broken and alone, and that was before he was tortured. So have fun out there and make some new friends, and maybe see that you already do. Thank you for joining me today. Make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a single new build each week on YouTube and Spotify, and make sure to check out my Patreon, where you can help decide next week's new character.